Hello, Eyes Good here, and this is Survive and Thrive, developer blog video. I wanted to share with you a couple of things that I have been working on over the holidays. I've added some UI elements and also optimized some of the sounds and animations. As you can see, our character now has some clothing that's a little more colorful. He's also holding an axe, which he is going to use to chop down a tree. As I make my way over here to this tree, this oak tree here, I want to show you some of the UI elements that have been added to the game. So I have this window bar here, which allows toggling of various windows in the UI. For example, this is the clock, and this is the food and water, hydration, and nutrition. And the way I want the game to work is, with respect to food and water, is that walking and working and doing various things will affect the consumption of water and food. Water, of course, depletes much faster than food does. And as the player walks around, I'll switch to running. The player runs, you can notice that the food bar is going down, the hunger bar, and thirst is going down about twice the rate. So with the food and water, or hunger and thirst, the idea is that as the levels decrease, the status of thirst and hunger changes. And when you reach all the way down to the bottom of this bar or this bar, there are some reserves in the body for nutrition and for hydration. When hydration or nutrition are completely depleted, the player will die. You can get about five full bars of hunger and thirst for each one of the nutrition and hydration. And that's how it's going to work. So this will give you a visual indication of how much time you might have to before you have to eat. Another thing I want to show you is we have some other windows that open, and these windows can be moved around and turned on or turned off. This is the inventory window. I'm still working on the inventory system. And this is going to be the crafting window for what I'm going to call hand crafting, which are things that you can make with your hands that don't require like a workstation or something like that you would see typically in games. All right, now with respect to time, the game time right now, it is running at 1x or at normal time, and doing things like chopping down trees, handcrafting, things like that, are going to speed up time so that the player doesn't have to wait as long for those actions to take place. But the idea behind it is that, for example, here I am, my character with an axe. Maybe it's the sharpest axe on the planet, but it's still going to take a while to cut down this tree. And each tree has a different amount of time that it takes to cut it down, and it also has a different amounts of material that are produced from the cutting of that tree. So as I come over here to chop down this rather large tree, this oak tree, it's going to take much longer to chop this one down than, say, this cherry tree down here. And so I'd like to show you that. So if I right click and chop down the tree, I've added a chopping animation. There's also a status bar that shows the status, but you'll notice the time has sped up 15 times, and this is to simulate how much time it's going to take to actually chop down that tree. Then the player, after chopping down the tree, has to chop up the tree into the various components, and that also takes time, and so time is being sped up, but also the hunger and thirst are moving at a pace that matches the speed of the game. And you'll notice when thirst reaches dry, we lose a level of hydration and we go back to content. All right, so I finished chopping the tree. The day started at 6 in the morning. It's now 7 at night, and the tree is down. Daytime has transitioned over to night. The sounds of day have now switched to crickets and various sounds of the night. And the day, the time has now returned to 1x. And so this is going to be about, if you think about being in the wilderness and trying to survive, time is something that you have lots of. And so the idea is that I want to simulate the consumption of time based on activities that the player does, but not make you wait all day at the normal speed for something to get done. But you do have to monitor your food and your water. I'm going to go ahead and chop down this cherry tree. And you'll notice time has sped up, but it took a lot less time to chop down this small tree than it did the big oak tree. And there's also a distinction with the various trees between hardwood and softwood. So the softwood trees are maybe physically bigger, but they may not require nearly as much time to chop down as the hardwood trees do. So this is a walnut, that's a hardwood. This one is a maple, which is a softwood. About the same size, but you'll notice a difference in how long it takes to process each one of these trees. Alright, so the maple has fallen, and we are now working on processing up the tree. I only have one product that is visible right now, and that would be the logs. However, the months of January and February of this year into March, this sprint is going to focus on building out some of the features of the trees, including tree growth, ages, the pieces and parts that you will chop off of a tree, things like that. All right, so let me just come over here. I want to drop this tree. I'm getting pretty dehydrated. I am right now severely dehydrated. Hopefully I'll have enough time to chop down this tree before I become incapacitated, which is what will happen. And I think I'm risking death here with the amount of work that I've done. Once you reach hypertonic, you get to a point where you're very weak, and the game is going to simulate with each one of the reserves being drawn from hydration and your nourishment. The game is going to reduce some of the player's stats, So the idea is to keep yourself well nourished, keep yourself well hydrated, and use the hunger and thirst as a way of allowing you to work and get things done at 100% efficiency, with those numbers going down as you become more hungry and more thirsty. All right, I think I'm going to end this video, this rather short video. I just wanted to give you a little bit of the progress that I've been making over the holidays with the trees, and what I'm planning on working on as I go forward over the next couple of months. And hopefully I will have some future videos soon that will show some progress that I'm making. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your attention to my game. And if you have any comments, feel free to leave some comments below. And you can even like if you want to show some appreciation. And follow me on Twitter, or follow along here as I discuss some more aspects of Survive and Thrive. Thanks for your time. Bye for now.